Running Facebook or Instagram ads is a great way to get your business in front of an audience that doesn't know that you or your services exist. In this video, I'm going over my Facebook and Instagram ad strategies for local and service-based businesses. Hey business owners, I'm Brad Ball, your host of the Grind and Grow Marketing Show, and today we are talking about Facebook and Instagram ad strategies for local and service-based businesses. All right, before we get into the strategies, we need to talk a little bit about the Facebook ads. So first off, when we say Facebook ads, we also mean Instagram ads. They are one and the same. So if I say Facebook ads, I also am meaning Instagram ads. It's just a lot to say all of it together. So we'll just say Facebook ads moving forward. Okay. Now, we also want to talk about the anatomy of an ad. So it really breaks down kind of into three containers. You have your campaigns, you have your ad sets or ad groups, and then you have your ads. So the campaign is basically where you set the objective and the budget. Now there are options to set the budget at the ad set level, but we're just going to assume you're setting it at the campaign level. And then there is the ad set. This is basically where you're going to set your targeting. And then there's the ads. This is where you're basically going to create your ad. Now there's two other areas within here that are important. That is audiences and events. Audiences are basically where you can create a group of people to run your ad to. And an event is where you're telling Facebook what an event is, or what we would call a conversion. So someone filled out a form and landed on the thank you page, and therefore they converted. All right, let's talk campaign types. So Facebook gives us a handful of different campaign types. In our ad strategies, we're going to really kind of just focus on two, and I really kind of just recommend staying with two, but we'll talk about all five real quick. The first one is sales. This is one of the most common ones you'll want to use. It's basically telling Facebook that you're running an ad and you want the goal to be someone to purchase your product or to fill out a form on, let's say, your website or some conversion that you have set up. Okay, that's sales. The next one is engagement. Basically, this is going to saying, I want your ad, or you want your ad shown to people that are likely to engage with it, with your ad. So maybe it's watching a certain percentage of a video, maybe it's liking, commenting, sharing, that kind of engagement, right? The next one is leads. This one we don't typically use too often ourselves. They can be good, but they're basically what you're telling Google is it's an ad that's going to have the lead capture form right inside of Facebook. So you're not directing them out of Facebook, which Facebook likes. You're just using the form that's built into the Facebook platform. The next one is traffic. This is basically running an ad to people that are likely to click on a link and view your web page. So you would think this would be a good one, and it is, but if you're going to do that and you have an objective for people to take, then why would you not just run sales? Because that's ultimately the goal that you have anyway, not just to get them to your landing page. You actually want to get them to make a sale. And then the last one is awareness. So the awareness one is basically it's going to show your ad to as many people as possible to get your name and your branding out there, right? It's awareness. Okay, so really we're going to focus on sales and engagement. Now, we break up our ad styles or types into two buckets. One is prospecting ads and the other one is retargeting ads. So in prospecting, our goal is to find people who are most likely to be interested in our product or service, but don't know who we are or that our service exists, right? So this is a really cold audience. When we're doing a prospecting campaign, we're typically going to do a sales objective, right? So a conversion-based campaign. And then we are going to target, we're going to use interest targeting or lookalike audiences, right? So people that have an interest in certain things. So if it's for a med spa, then people that are interested in med spas or Botox or those types of services. That's what we're going to show our ads to. Or maybe it's lookalike audiences. Now, I will say next week, we are doing a deep dive into creating Facebook audiences and all the things you would need to know in doing that. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video next week. But in general, we're just going to specify interest targeting or lookalike audiences. So That's what that is. So the other thing that we want to look at is audience size. So this is a little tip. I recommend keeping in the beginning your audience sizes around the millions, like 1 to 2 million. I mean, it can be a little bit more, it can be a little bit less, but what you don't want to do is have an audience that is 10,000 or an audience that is, 50 million, right? Those are too small and too big. And a starting budget of about $30 to $40 a day. So really the ad size and the budget really kind of go hand in hand, but that's kind of a good mix to start with. Now the ad can be a video, it can be an image, it can be a carousel ad, whatever it is, the goal is to quickly capture their attention and stop them from scrolling. So one thing to note is they are on Facebook or they are on Instagram scrolling through, they are not actively searching for your service, you're just showing your ad to them because you think they are interested in what you have to offer. So the primary text of this ad should start with a hook that speaks to their problem or their pain point, something that's going to grab their attention. But it should be something that speaks to them in a way that speaks to their emotions or their feelings and gives them a sense that you understand how they're feeling. So that is the goal of the ad. Now let's transition over to our retargeting ad campaigns. So the goal here is to show your ads to people who have interacted with you or visited your website. So I like to use two different types of retargeting campaigns. One of them is an engagement retargeting campaign, and the other one is a website visitor campaign. So let's talk about the engagement retargeting campaign. So the goal of this is to get people who are your ideal customers to interact with your post. This could be either through like a video views or post engagements. So let's talk first real quick of a video view ad. So the goal would be to run an ad that is a video, and the goal is to show this video to a relevant the video should be of your relevant services, and it should be to people who would most likely sign up for your services. So what we're doing with this is we're creating an audience to track who has watched at least 50% of that video. So the campaign type of this would be an engagement video view campaign type. So what we're trying to do is just put an ad out there that's a video and get people to watch at least 50% of it. If they watch 50%, then we can say, hey, they are likely interested in the services we are offering. All right, so we're just building that audience. The next one is very similar, but it's just post engagements, right? So the audience that we're building here is to get people to interact with our post by liking, sharing, or commenting on that post, right? So the campaign type here is just an engagement campaign type. Again, we're building that audience. So here's the strategy. What we're doing is we are creating a custom audience to capture the people who have watched your video or interacted with your post. Running these engagement ads and building these audiences. The next step is to capture them. So now we're going to run a separate ad campaign to specifically target these custom audiences that you just created. So the campaign type of these ads would be for sales because we have an action we want them to take and it's a warmer audience. And the ad content would be to drive them to take a specific action we want them to take, like fill out a form or purchase our product. Now the next one is that website visit retarget ad. Now this one is a bit more simple and kind of more typical of what people think of a retargeting ad. Basically, you need to have the Facebook pixel on your website so you can track visitors. You're going to create an audience of people who have visited your website within the last 90 days. Now you're going to run an ad specifically to these people. The campaign type would be sales or conversions, and the ad is going to drive people to take the action you want them to take. This audience will be warmer because they will already have been familiar with you since they just visited your website. All right, so that wraps us up, but remember next week we are diving into Facebook audiences and everything you need to know with that, so be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.